Hi, Scorpio. If you want to come on in, have a seat for some symbolic support. Here's your ink blot made in your name and essence in the spirit of June. If you want to take a screenshot so you can scry in your own time and terms for shapes and symbols that speak to your senses. Scorpios, as always, we will scry your ink at Ontario and Oracle, and the spirit box is already rocking and rolling. We're here for Scorpio. Thank you so much for being my muse, for holding space for me to share my insights and allowing me to be a guest in your aura. And yes, this is ink all over my hands. Back and forth between doing things. So sorry, not sorry, but I appreciate it. Do not mind. I'm going to take a moment here, Scorpios, if you'd like to join me to close the eyes, cleansing the palette of perception, activating the abstract mind and ancient awareness to perceive and receive symbolic support. Scorpios. Someone's saying, talk to me, look at me, talk to me. Somebody's head's turned away. I'm also seeing, Scorpios, whether it's you or somewhere out in the aura of what you're observing or in your workplace, in your relationship, with your mate, relationship maybe. They're saying something that's gold. I'm seeing them like a goat, so it could be Capricorn energy, something along that lines. They're either saying something that feels like a golden egg to you. You're like, yeah, that makes sense, and it really inspires you. But then there's the side of like, look at me, and my head is turned, or there's a head turned. For some reason, Scorpio, I'm not sure. It kind of makes me feel like in a relationship, there might be a head turned. Like if one's the disciplinarian or one parent seems to be the disciplinarian, someone else is like, oh, I can't look. Like I don't want to be there for that conversation. It feels like there's some sort of disciplinary conversation happening over here. But this, goat with the golden egg, I feel as though the Scorpio is being led there to receive this. So you might run into somebody. Yeah, somebody might help you. And it could be like a therapist or someone that just randomly says something, or a friend, and it just clicks. And I feel like that's the good stuff. They just say something and they get you, and it helps you clarify something. Well, it's like in one role, you are this, or you need to play this role, the disciplinarian, and maybe it's not your preferred way. Or you're the person with the head turned. I'm not entirely sure. Interesting. If I follow the person with their head turned from this, I'm going to say couple, because it could also, of course, be the internal, male and female energies, or the belief systems of right or wrong, the moral gauge, ethics, etc. But if I follow the other one, they're also observing this conversation, another conversation.
He told me.
And they're still talking with like a finger out, like, I'm telling you. So I don't know if it's like something that you're reflecting upon. And bear with me as we travel this aura. Like, this is quite the adventure. Like, you might be heavily reflecting on past, like maybe that's how your parents were with you, or a parent to, oh my goodness, slapped in the face with my own hair. And maybe you're actively trying to do things differently, but you're seeing benefits of discipline if you don't like to be. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, there seems to be a whole lot of, thinking. There's a thinking bubble. And Scorpios, whatever this is in relation to, because I think it's just relationships in general. It's relationships in general. And it's like, how do I honor what works, but maybe not go about it the same way? Paradise, peace, pleasure, communication. Even though this has been a rough road to to kind of get through. This is what I want. This is what I feel like Scorpio's energy and aura wants. Peace. Peace within the self. So that it's... Or maybe I have peace within myself. And it's like, how do I express this? But it's like people put me in these predicaments. It's like one variation when I travel down that rabbit hole. But I want to note, like in this card, if it'll come through in the lighting, you can still hear me. And yes, we're looking at my ink fingers here.
Choked.
See how even again, this angel, there's a finger pointing. Like there's a lot of telling going on. As I'm in the Scorpio energy, either observing it, that there's a lot of conversations and I can see all this telling. But I'm trying not to repeat cycles, or maybe I have repeated some cycles. Goat and the golden goose. I'm seeing somebody go, dur, 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 dur. I don't know, maybe that means something to you. Scorpios. River to hell, movement, journey, difficulty, struggles. This is when we're talking about this observation or internal reflections. I don't think I'm trying to be dramatic, but I feel like in the Scorpio energy, because it's so passionate when I'm in your aura, and I'm grateful to be a guest. I'm passionate. So, peace to pain can be a very real polarity, going back to quickly jaunting around that belief system, right? Right or wrong, this, that, or the other. It kind of gives me Gemini vibes as well. Okay, so here's some good news. Death, transformation, rebirth, and Prince of Birds, friendship, helpfulness, and gratitude. So this is what was already coming through earlier on in this story. The goat or the golden goose. Yeah. The Prince of Birds. And even look at that. They're like a duck up there. Goose adjacent. Yeah. They're going to hand you something because you're going interesting and you're choosing to end cycles, close cycles in and of your own energy, your own power, pleasure, and pain. Fascinating, because you have like this golden thought bubble, and I'll share this with you if I don't bother Mr. Mike here. Yeah, we're on the table. See if I can do this. So here's the goat / golden goose, and they've got the golden egg, right? And there's all these hoots, but there's all these conversations. Head turned, there's the other conversation. Here's your golden thought bubble, and it's being purified. You're like, things are just being realized. It's like when someone, as an example, that's popping through, it's like they're maybe a very religious person or a peace preacher, but then they lose their temper in the parking lot because somebody dinged their car, and it's like, everyone's human. That I'm not judging that, but it's like right off the hop, like I'm seeing like a match, and it's lit. It's like, wow, that's it. Basically, what I'm hearing is walk your talk, and you're noticing if others don't, are all talk, all walk. Do they walk their talk? Do you walk your talk? All that kind of, like you're really putting things together within and without. Tree with snake here. Okay. Man, it's like you're going back to the beginning. Like I'm getting like Adam and Eve stuff here with the tree, the snake, desire, attraction, stability, and growth. That's that goat goose. And it's even like a golden color. Someone or something is going to come into your life.
I can't.
If they're not already, to help this unwind. because it's like they're almost attracted to it because they can help. It's like a peace preacher or a therapist or a friend or somebody that says something just in the right way. It's not because they're better, worse, this, that, or the other. They just say it in the right way for you to do something about it, or to apply it, for you to apply it. Okay. So it's like if somebody goes like, if you go to strike the match, like maybe that's your anger or irritation, whatever the case may be, and you're going to go, hold on a minute. House and moon, cycles, change, relocation, home. Maybe there's a lot of pressure at home, and whatever your house represents to you. Cycles and change, even with the death card. We've literally been talking about it through this whole time. That's cute. There's a part of you that's coming back up. Yeah. I don't know if there's some Scorpios that maybe have felt like they lost a part of themselves somewhere along the lines through all of this, Scorpios. I don't know what this is around me. But if you're resonating, I feel like there's really no words I could say. You're just like, yeah, I know what you're talking about. Maybe it's physical people. Maybe it's just energy, residual. I'm not sure, but self-love and growth again. Scorpios, you were on it. You were coming from the void. And not to give the void a bad name, just in this instance, the river to hell, where it's been dark and bleak,
34.
Whether it's been in your mind. You know what it makes me feel like? It's like I really do feel as though maybe at some point in time you felt like you're in danger, or you're like, if I continue down this road, this is gonna. You have the foresight, you know. And you're like, if I continue down this road, or if I don't start talking to somebody now, because I really feel like in this moment, if I'm being very earnest and honest, I want to go to therapy and I want to talk to somebody, and I want to talk and I want to talk and I want to
later.
This is what I'm seeing. I'm not sure what blah, 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 blah. I just want to talk. And not be held to this conversation that feels attacky, or like it has to be defensive. Like I'm seeing it like a football game. Like, I don't want to toss the ball around about this. I want to speak to somebody like a coach and be like, Scorpio, self-love, growth. You are doing you, because that is the best way to lead, to walk your talk, and talk about your walk, because you may already be in a position of helping other people. You could be that person, right? You could in turn be the person, someone else's golden goose, goat and golden goose. Brilliance. Yeah. Brilliance. Okay, I'm going to keep on scrying here, because there's this underlying anger that's like right in the ink blot, this underlying anger. But sometimes it feels like it's misplaced or pointed, maybe not transmuted or harnessed. Actually, harnessed feels like a really good word. And not in so as soon as I said harnessed, and it felt really good, like within me, being in the Scorpio energy, then I saw the striking the match, and someone like maybe could be, I don't want to say like an arsonist, right? But that's one way. I'm going to go the other way. I am growing. I am self-helping. I am self-loving. I'm not afraid of the dark. I am the dark.
kitchen,
And I cultivate and cook up my light. And then I see someone else striking the match and lighting the way towards where I want to go. And that light from the match becomes, in the backdrop of dark, a star. And now, Scorpio, I am seeing somehow in the vastness of all that is, in the most brilliant and beautiful way. Sorry, I'm probably putting ink on my face now as well. Not to pause in your story. It's like I can see the Scorpio energy amidst the void, the backdrop of the moon in the night sky, of anyone else going through darkness, and you strike a match of passion that might have been anger at one point in time. You can smell the sulfur, like the symbology of like a demon being around you, and it dissipates because it becomes the star, and your energy lights this light for others to see, that one star that stands out and speaks. Does that make sense, Scorpio? It feels so powerful. And I hope that you feel that and know that. Oh my goodness, even underneath here, beauty with resistance underneath it and darkness. You've been going, for the Scorpios that may be watching this, the few to the many, the one star, the one match that's been lit to light the way. Tom. Self, darkness, void, the moon. You're no longer resisting. What you may start resisting, I don't know if that's the right word, is all these people, this busyness around you that almost like drives, so your passion, it turns to anger, and it feels stifling and hot. And in turn, you're going to resist that, and you're going to turn into something beautiful, and you're going to realize that can be passion. Even like if you get wound up and you harness it and you go to the gym or you go for a walk, or maybe you carve things and you're a woodworker or a painter, this or that. Sorry, I'm like crazy walking through spider webs right now. Okay. Scorpios, I'm going to add on a few more cards here, and then we will return to flip your ink blot, and we'll scry it from the other direction later on in June. Kind of like an early June, end of June vibe. See what's going on in the aura. Thank you so much for being here, for sharing, and subscribing if you haven't already. And if you've stuck around, thank you. And for all those who support the channel through Buy Me a Coffee and PayPal, you warm my haunted heart. Thank you so much. Okay, Scorpios. Somebody might be feeding off your anger. What's on the bottom here? Bison. They're all in the reverse. Yes. Okay, so a bison's coming in to help block the bull crap. A lot of football things are coming through.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So now I'm seeing, I think there are people in football practicing, and they're going against these big things. If say it was a punching bag, but I think they use their shoulders and they push them. Yeah, I think it's something like that. Man, you're tough. You're tough. But that doesn't mean that you don't feel. And here's the irony I'm sensing is that if people focus on the Scorpio sting, let's say, the Scorpio softness, the amount of passion, like a flamenco dancer, it's just brilliant. But sometimes discipline, draw from the Capricorn energy if need be, of the goat symbology, and know that you can discipline yourself to not get carried away or let people take your passions for granted to get you riled up. peacock has come through. Prosperity. Yeah, this is where it's almost like surrounding yourself with people or different people. And I'm not trying to poo-poo the people. It just feels very loud. Like I actually feel like I'm in a mall cafeteria. Is that what they're called? Or a mall food court. Like it's very, very loud. And I'm seeing a turtle down here. As well, I'm seeing like a sign. I don't know if somebody is like from the relocation, if somebody is selling their house because of maybe some arguing.
Cupboard.
So there's just a whole lot of emotions flying about. And I don't want to dismiss that, right? Like if you are going through a separation or something along that lines, or even if you're just moving, like that in and of itself without necessarily the added conversations or conflicts around you, the moving is significantly stressful. I have here snow leopard, the watcher. This makes me feel like that there's a star in the sky watching you. There's a star in the sky watching you. Snake is on the bottom, but it is in the reverse. Maybe there was a separation due to cheating as well. Beaver work. It's time to get to work on you. This is how I feel. And I'm not saying this in a selfish way. I'm not saying this, and sometimes, self-love, do what you want to do, fulfills you. And that's not in a way to say dismiss responsibilities, your roles, and, respecting those. But really starting to get to work on transmuting those feelings, very powerful feelings, into the promise of your present and your future. And I don't know, the brilliant Scorpios of you setting the tone, set the tone, walk the talk, little by little. It doesn't all have to be done at once. Little by little. I am seeing a superhero with a cape, and I am seeing like a younger person, could be a child, but it could just be somebody that looks up to you, friend, this, that, or the other. And they're watching you become like the Scorpio superhero. And it's a really, really cool feeling. Scorpios, thank you so much for being my muse. If you would like a personal, the link is below, as well to the shop and services for any other. If you're curious, want to cure some curiosity, I look forward to revisiting your ink blot in the reverse later on in June. Thank you.